Hello, welcome to day 19 in this creating a modern OpenGL game engine vlog. So last time we was doing some mouse input. We were getting there, and was it SFML we were doing? That's the one that's enabled. So let me go back to the SFML CPP file. So yeah, we've got some SFML mouse there. I thought we were doing some SDL. No, we didn't get onto SDL mouse. We only had the SFML mouse at the moment. Okay, so what we had was set mouse button status, mouse button status, mouse key pressed. And what we want to do is look at having the option to detect any button being pressed. So basically, is a key just in general being pressed on the keyboard? And an example for that is what I've given here. On the main menu, for example, sometime when the game first loads and you've gone past like an intro or a splash screen, it might say something like press any key to continue. And even when it sometimes says something like press spacebar or enter to continue, there's usually either multiple or you can press any key, but they want you to press space key, but you can just press any one. That's an example of where it could be used. So now, because if we go to our main, this is the way we actually sort of detect it, is check mouse button status, mouse key any, we were doing it at the moment. We had left button, middle button, right button. So if I go to middle button, save that. And okay. So I'm going to hover over here. I clicked the middle button. If I left click or right click, it doesn't print anything out, which is fantastic. It's exactly what we want. And let me just put this on silent. Okay, so yeah, we got the middle. We also want it to, for any key. Because for example, we've got this keyboard press, so we can detect, if a keyboard is being pressed, and then we can, choose to detect if a particular key is being pressed. So if we run this now, I can't remember exactly what was happening last time. I think it was just printing it off loads of times. Yeah, it was. So let's go to the check mouse button status method. And in here, so what we got is if it equals any, then we're just returning true, which obviously we don't want to be doing. We still want to check if a mouse button is down. So we're gonna want something to detect that, because what we got mouse status. And what are we storing in the mouse status? The mouse status is equal to mouse nothing. What else do we have in there? We have mouse release, mouse entered, mouse left, mouse moving. Oh, go back to here. So obviously this mouse status isn't really to do with key presses. It's to do stuff like has he entered the the game window, is it moving, have you stopped moving, that sort of stuff. Obviously we need to handle that as well. But then the mouse button status is just to handle status in general. Because what I could do, and actually I might just do this because it is there's only 3 there, so I might just do this. If I go to, yeah, we're only supporting left, right and middle click at the moment. Later on, as the engine advances, we could support extra buttons as well. That should just be pretty easy to add on. The priorities, getting the basics working. Because for the most part, as long as we got those 3 buttons working, I think as long as we got the left and right, but we got those 3 working so far, that's all good. So if we go to the CPP file, in here, what I'm going to do is do for int I equals 0 while I is less than 3, I plus plus, and then I'm going to check is if mouse underscore button status pressed. No, I'm gonna do if button status equals the particular button itself, so that would be this mouse button status button, then we're going to return true. Like so. Let me try running that now. Let me see what we get. So, if I click, it says, it doesn't say anything actually. It's not good because we want it to say something, because why did it not say anything? What was the status we checked for again? If any button has the mouse key pressed, it should have it. If we go to set mouse button, set mouse key pressed, if we go back to core event CPP, button status, I'm gonna that's the way it needs to be done. I'm looping over the entire array. Okay, so far nothing printing out. I click once, it says mouse is being pressed. That's still going, so we actually need to reset that. So in here, before that, we would do something like we would need to, in here, go through the loop basically again and just reset it. So we would need to do something like this. We'll change this to a J instead. J. Now in here we're gonna do this mouse button status J equals mouse underscore button status mouse key not pressed. Run that now. That should reset it, because if we're detecting it just on the any one, we're just basically gonna reset every key after that. Nothing so far. If I click, prints out once, middle click, yep, right click, yep, and it printed it off again. So printed it off twice because I actually clicked the left and the right button as well, so that's all good. It's working for that scenario, so I'm actually happy with that. So I'm just thinking, what should I do in terms of, should I bring SFML and GFW to the same level and test that, make sure it's working, or implement the rest of the mouse functionality? I think I'm going to bring the others to the same level and then test it. Test it, then move on to the other general mouse events like movement and entering and exiting a window. So I'm going to go to starters, definitions, enable SDL, and in the SDL what we're going to do is check for the KB underscore. Okay, yeah, because remember we did change a few things and we haven't renamed them yet on here, because this was, well, SDL wasn't enabled. So we're going to do case SDL underscore mouse. Ooh, will. No, actually it's just button. So mouse button event. Is that what we got? Yep, mouse button event. actually that's not it. SDL underscore mouse button down. Actually, if I go back to definitions, I go back to the SFML, we didn't have anything for case SF event mouse button released. So now we obviously just need to do the same. This is going to be very simple, so we can just move back onto SDL pretty quickly. This needs to be, well, released instead. Okay. So good, so we needed to do something similar to this. So we're going to copy that, go to SDL, whack this over here. Actually, I've got to change this back, save it, go back to SDL again. Let's put a break and now let's fix these errors. So what we got? Okay, it's not window event, it is SDL underscore get it won't be global mouse state, will it? I'm gonna have a look at the SDL website. So SDL mouse input. Have a look at Lazy Foo. They do good tutorials. So and event, if event.type, which is what this equals SDL mouse button down. Yeah, that's what we're on. So good so far. Event.button.button. So window event dot button dot button. Okay. Let's see if this works. So this is still based on the any key at the moment. That did not work. Am I missing something from the... Yeah, I'm missing these. So I need to... Was it in the HPP I had something? Nope, it was in the event interface, so that's fine. I need to whack them here. The only difference is I need to, instead of, you know, this, SDL M, is it? I'm guessing. SDL underscore mouse button. How do I do button left? It's just button left. Button left. So this will be for the right, and this will be for the middle one. So middle for right. Let me run that now. Again, this is just for detecting any key. We'll try like left key in a second. Okay, so far no printing. Click, mouse press, right click, mouse press, middle click, mouse press. Good. If we go to main.cpp, I'll change this to, let's say, mouse key middle. Run that now. So far printing nothing. I'm left and right clicking nothing. Middle click. Fantastic, that's working. And now what I need to do is go to the SDL again. I need to grab this, and I need to do for mouse button up as well. So when it's released, and this needs to be released. So to quickly test this, if I go to released, okay. What might be better to test this is if I were to get this, put it here. Okay. So left right click doesn't do anything. If I middle click, it's not doing anything at the moment, but if I let go, then it says the mouse button press. I didn't change this, but that doesn't matter. So let's just whack this back here. That's good, all good so far. And in SDL, happy with that. We can move on to GLFW now. GLFW. Okay. Probably best if I sort out the events side first, so I'm just going to copy and paste this again and change anything that I need to. So copy that into events. Don't seem to be using any of this, so I'm literally just going to get rid of all of this crap. The right idea. Paste that. Sort it out in a second. In the HPP, I want to get rid of this as well. So now it's only to do GLFW underscore mouse. It's got button 1 to button left. GLFW underscore mouse button right. GLFW underscore mouse button middle. And I'm going to run this again. So if I go to, no, I can't run it again at the moment. I still need to implement the framework side of things. So for this, I still need to sort this as well. So this will be KB keyboard. Copy that. I'll just paste it there. It probably would have just been quicker if I just done it like this. So now, put else if. GFW underscore mouse so is it press? Is that literally the action that would get called? So if we go to GFW mouse input, pretty sure, yep, we did a tutorial on it. Can't remember how to do it now. I'm gonna go to the GitHub page. And on here, it was mouse input, main.cpp. See what we got. We did use a callback. You got a separate callback for mouse. So where are we setting the key callback? Somewhere here. Key callback. Yeah. GFW set mouse button callback. Window. And this is I'm gonna say mouse callback. Mouse callback. And I need to do something. I'll just copy and paste this one. It'll be a lot quicker. Go to GLFW, whack this here now. Static. And this needs to be mouse callback. It should be mouse button callback because there's a different one for scrolling. So mouse button callback actually. Mouse button callback. Copy and paste this to save some time. Typing it out again. And I'm going to do framework GLFW. Copy that to here. And now I'm going to need this again because it is a static, remember. and in here it's just if mouse button right equals I'll copy this for now and I'll sort it out in a second. So all we want to do is if it's pressed, we need to go back to SDLCPP, copy this for example in here, whack this in. We would just whack in the button. I guess that's all we need to whack in. Button. And it shouldn't be this, it should be like this, like so. And else if GFW_release equal action. I want to sort this out, so this is implementing Yoda conditions. And now I'm gonna change this to released. Ready to give it a whirl now. So let's see what we get. Console looking good so far. I'll click left mouse button, nothing, right mouse button, nothing, middle mouse button, that worked. And now let me just go to main. I also want to check the any key as well. Talking about any key reminds me of that episode of Simpsons when he says, I think, yeah, it's the episode when he gets really fat so he can work at home, and he's working on a computer, and he says, press any key to continue. And he's just like, he's looking, it's like, where's the any key? All I see is ESC, control, enter, and it's like, there's no any key. Okay, so if I click left mouse button, boom, that worked. Right mouse button, that worked. Middle mouse button, that worked. Okay, that's all good now. Okay, time's all good as well. It's definitely recording, that is definitely good. We can move on to, yeah, scrolling. I'll move on to scrolling next, and then we can just move on, you know, just the general mouse input, which is basically cursor position. Cursor enter. I'll probably move on to first. Next, okay, be scrolling, then cursor position, then it'll be cursor entering. So, yep, okay. I just need to quickly pop to the toilet. Apart from that, I will be back, and then we'll continue with this. Okay, so I am back now, and we was gonna work on the scrolling. So scrolling. We got GRFW enabled, so we might as well keep that. Let me go to the actual core events. Let's see how this would work. So we're gonna need something, else for scrolling, because the way scrolling works, you have the X offset and then the Y offset as well. So obviously scrolling in the X and Y. Go back to mouse definitions. Don't think we need a released, but we'll check that in a second. So I think we're gonna need something to say that we're scrolling. So int scroll status, int scroll offset, and for this we actually should use a vector of some kind. What am I using everywhere else in terms of stuff like vectors and whatnot? Let's have a look. A foundation. Yep, did create vectors, simple vector container. So if I go back to here, it's in core engine. It's been so long since I looked at any of this stuff. So if we go back to core settings, it is vector, so let's go and copy and paste this. Vector. Okay, so if we go to core events, it's going to be a vector GL float, scroll offset. So we need a method for void set scroll offset, and for this we pass in the X and Y, so you'll be float, should be GL float. We'll bump this back to an int or a regular float. Should I use, I'm just trying to think, should I use the all of the GR ints, or, well, no, because all of this stuff was to do with, directly with OpenGL, so it's the main reason I was using it. So whereas with this, it's not, so float will be fine. So scroll offset, and we're gonna have a float X, float Y, save that, and we need a get method as well for this, so get so we're going to return a vec2 of float, and this is going to be a const. Well, how was it returning everywhere else? It was okay, that's fine. Keep it consistent, and the method is going to be called get scroll offset. Copy this into here. What am I doing? Not into here, into the other one. So into core event CPP. that needs to go at the end, so const, and I didn't even probably do it, it needs to be a method. So if I go back to this needs to be a method, and in here I need to go something like so. Needs to do core events. Okay, so the get window size is like okay, so yeah, I'll get it now. If I go back to core events, I need to get rid of this here. Put whack a const here. It's going to return this scroll offset. Is it an ampersand I need to do for vec2? This scaled window size. That's not working either, so can't remember how this was working last time, so const. Okay, that's all good. Now we need to do this scroll offset X and Y. Why is it mustn't moaning about? Again, we'll just refer to old code where we did do similar stuff. See the way I did it there. So setting it is like so. GL float. So if we go back to here, equals vec2 float okay, that's still not working. I didn't name it correctly. So I go back into here, my bad indeed, scroll offset. I'm just gonna build it, not really, just build it, just make sure. Got no errors, but we do have errors, so let's have a look where those errors lie, or one error. Should be a capital O, build. No errors, fantastic. So now we can actually start implementing it on the GLFW side. There's also one other thing I want to do, is initialize it to a value of 0 initially. So initially this should be 0.0f and 0.0f. And now in GLFW, first of all we're going to need some sort of scroll callback. And I'll call this like mouse scroll callback, so static. This should have been a void mouse scroll callback in case there's like a scroll on a keyboard, because I've got a scroller on my keyboard that allows me to turn the volume up and down, so just to make sure there's no ambiguity there. Copy that, and in here let's whack it down here. So framework GLFW, we're going to need this before we do anything else, we're also going to need to make sure that we're calling the method. So to call it, it was set. What was the sticky mouse buttons? GFW sticky keys. What was that? Set sticky. You risk missing a state change in your log file. If a press keys release the game before you post its state, you will have missed the key state. The recommended solution for this is to use a key callback, but there's also the GFW sticky keys input mode. When sticky keys mode is enabled, the pollable state of a key will remain GFW press until the state of that key is polled with GFW get key once it Okay, we're gonna want this. I think that's just for general input. Okay, that's just for input in general. So we're gonna whack that probably, yeah, we'll whack it over here. Now we need to do the scroll as well. And now this is gonna be mouse scroll callback. And okay, it's good. It's good so far. Got the X offset and the Y offset. We just need to set that now. So if we do temp event object, temp events object, set scroll offset, and this is going to be X offset, Y offset. Okay, that should be all good now. We should be able to go to our main. Should be able to just print it out. So if I go to, is there something to detect if the mouse is scrolling in general? So scroll. Now you'll have to just detect it on the what's imaging. std c out, and for this is gonna be ce.get events, get scroll offset dot, and we want X, and this is gonna be colon. Then we want c.get events, get scroll offset again, and this time it's going to be Y, std and line. And now we're going to run it, see what we get. So I'm actually going to put it here over the top like so. So it's only when it's over the window. So I scrolled up, I got -1.3, I'm scrolling faster. That technically was down because I've got, the reverse, the natural scrolling mode enabled. This is scrolling technically up now. Okay, so there's free scroll, hence why the numbers are big. and then this is, well, left, and this is left and right scroll. Okay. Wee. That's all good now. That is all good. Good. Okie dokie. Check the time quickly. 40 minutes. So I'm going to implement the same now for thingamajiggy now. SDL and SFML. So yeah, I think that's all done. The mouse scroll callback. After mouse, he was gonna be, after the scroll callback, it was gonna be, you know, the cursor. But I'll get, you know, each individual one done and just make sure it's tested and working. So I'm gonna do SDL now. So if we go to definitions, enable SDL, save that, and in SDL, let's have a look. Is it case SDL underscore mouse underscore wheel? I think it will be this. Yeah, because this is an event type. So now break that, and we would need to do this core events set scroll offset, and this, I'm gonna try and guess if figure it out myself. Event dot something to do with scrolling. Mouse wheel event dot direction. Let's have a look what we get with that. Oh, that's just no, we don't want that. We just want X and Y, and obviously the user can figure it out themselves. They can handle it however they want. Dot Y. Let's run this now. See what we get. So scroll down, scroll left and right. Doesn't seem to be as good as the other scroll, but apart from that, it should be okay. So gonna make sure there's no sticky, you know, mode or anything that can enable to make it better. So SDL mouse scroll. Hopefully there's a lazy foo video. I mean link. SDL mouse lazy foo. I'm just gonna put that. What was the other one? What's the difference? Go back to this one. So it was good. So scroll wheel direction. Okay, they haven't even done it. That is fine. Go into SDL tutorials just in case it's down here. So my mouse, keystays, gamepad, and joysticks. Okay, happy. I'm overall happy with that. And atomic operations. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So now going to go to and do it in SFML. So if I go and enable SFML in the definition file, so FML, and now in SFML right here, need to do case SF event mouse wheel scroll. Will that be the event? gonna have a look just to make sure I'm getting the right one in case there's some deprecated version out there. Scroll wheel. Go to this. It is 2.4, the latest version, so I should be able to just click on here and scroll down. Mouse. The number of ticks the wheel has moved, so mouse wheel event. Wheel. So this core events set scroll offset. For this I'm going to do, what was it, SF event, or the window event dot mouse wheel dot window event dot mouse wheel dot y. Let's see what we get by running this. Does not like that, so cancel. Doesn't like trying to do it on there. Mouse wheel scrolled. So run this, let's see what we get. Zero, zero so far. If I scroll, would you, let's have the, I've got SFML tutorials as well, SFML tutorial, and I was not the first one that popped up, so let's go Sonar Systems, open up the source code link. This was the days when I used to whack it into each one into a separate repository. Oh, those were the dumb old days. So, so what I'm gonna need to do is search for mouse events. What was that? Live mouse input. See what that's about. Main.cpp. Yep, is button pressed. Left mouse button is Bing pressed. So fire, fire, fire. And if we go to main.cpp, left key has been pressed, mouse button pressed, mouse wheel moved. The event is mouse wheel moved. Then it's event mouse wheel dot delta. Let's see what X and Y does when I have it like this. Because again, we would like do I need to add delta onto it maybe? Do plus delta. It actually needs to be window event mouse wheel dot delta. So let's run this again, let's see what we get. scrolling. Oh, so that was just based on where my mouse was. And nothing to do with, well, how I was actually scrolling. So it should actually be delta. Does it even support, what's it called? X-axis scrolling? We'll find out. Okay, I'm gonna Google SFML horizontal mouse scroll. Might not. Might do. There's something about it here. So could I do window event dot mouse wheel dot wheel scroll dot wheel dot no, that's not what we want. Go to the latest version, see what they got. Go back to Google. Let's go to a different link. Let's just see what the forum says. Mouse wheel scroll. Okay, might need to do a bit more checking in here potentially. Starters, there also needs to be a break here. So if I were to do something like if the mouse wheel scroll dot wheel, so it would be this, equals horizontal, that will need to change the x-axis. And I will need to just whack a 0 here. Else if vertical wheel, I'm hoping that this will work. This will be the way. I'll whack a 0 here for the X. And now, see what we get. Let's try building it, running it. And well, build succeeded. That's a good start. Really doing much, was it? So I'm gonna go back to here. I'm actually gonna do std cout x scroll std and line. I'm gonna do one for y scroll as well. And in the main, I'm going to comment this out, but this doesn't interfere with anything. Yeah, xscroll really isn't doing anything. So it's printing it out, but when? So let me just comment this out. If I go back to it, scrolling down. This is it's only doing it when I'm scrolling basically down, or technically up. It's really weird. Let's have a look what this is saying. Delta, that's what they're using. Use mouse wheel scroll instead. Let's have a look, see if that works. Nope. This delta value that's not playing ball. It's like, I do not want to operate properly. So if I were to whack this here, this is just to make sure that the Y value is working fine. So if I go to main, uncomment that line. So this is me scrolling down, printing nothing. Literally nothing has been printed out, you know, in terms of a change. Yeah, if I were to do this, it did do something there. Horizontal wheel and vertical wheel. What would I get if I did whack in X? I'm pretty sure this is just going to be the X position and not what I want it to be. And it only seems to work in one direction as well. So I was scrolling to the right then, and it picked it up. It made a change. When I was scrolling to the left, it didn't make any change. I'll have another quick look. If not, we'll continue with it in the next daily video. Now, I think we made good progress overall. So what I'm going to do is after this video, just commit this code to GitHub And if you have any questions, feel free to post them on our education platform, sonarlearning.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a comment. If you want to contribute to all the documentation, the code, any ideas, feel free to say community run project by the community for the community. So just contribute however you want. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And where is OBS? It is here.